that with me. Oh, 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 da, 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 ya, da, 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 da. Try that. Ya, da, 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 da. Ya, da, 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 da. And repeat. Ya, da, 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 da. Ya, da, 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 da. Oh, 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 ya, da, 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 da. Ya, da, 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 ya, da, da. Ya, da, 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 da. Ya, da, 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 ya, da. Try again. Ya, da, 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 da. Ya, da, 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 ya, da, da. Ya, da, 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 da. Ya, da, 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 ya, da, da. This is a new melody that Rabbi Menachem Creditor has written since October 7th. He said that the melody poured out of him. So I share this with you today. It's going to come back a little bit later with the words of Oziv Zimrat, but for right now, I want us to just live in this melody. Let it flow right, let it flow wrong, but let it flow. The third part. Ya, da, 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 da. Ya, da, 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 da. Try it. Ya, da, 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 da. Ya, da, 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 da. Ya, da, 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 da. Ya, da, 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 da. Ya, da, 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 da. That part again. Ya, da, 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 da. Ya, da, 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 ya, da, da. Ya, da, 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 da. Ya, da, 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 ya, da, da.
On the Shabbat Vayetze, when Jacob's ladder dream is our own, Rabbi Larry Kushner's words speak loud and clear. The beginning of knowing about God is simply paying attention. Does my mic sound like I'm God somehow? This is really booming. Maybe I have a little echo. Do I have a little echo? I'm okay? Okay. It's not on? I'll do this. Rabbi Larry Kushner's words really speak loud and clear. The beginning of knowing about God is simply paying attention. Or as Rashi says, waking up. The hope is that as Thanksgiving opened our eyes to the deep gratitude we feel inside, this Shabbat can be, in essence, the second course, compelling us to open our hearts to the many blessings that fill our lives. Yes, the world is far from the way it should be, and life is far from whole. But if we truly pay attention, we will see what we otherwise tend to miss. That caring hand, those supportive arms, that sustaining smile, that unfailing love. So sometimes we take it for granted. Today we cannot. What's prayer for, after all, other than helping us feel more deeply grateful for how fortunate and blessed we truly are?
Just our voices. Oh, 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 oh.
We started as always with light, as we invite our B'nai Mitzvah and their moms to come on up as we kindle the lights for Shabbat, page 120 of your prayer books.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us.
As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We turn the page as we rise for Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, be'otanu kidashta. Shabbat Kodechecha Be'ahava uvratzon Hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
Thank you.
Shir Chadash can be found on your handout. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
I feel like we're ready to greet the Sabbath bride on page 138 with L'chado D. I'm going to guess, since I played these numbers this morning, 1, 2, 5, and 9. Am I right?
Lotto win.
Remember, when we get to that last verse, we face the rear door where Jeff Wang is. Don't face him, but greet the Sabbath bride. And after you do that, look at the glow of Shabbat around on the faces all around you. Take a moment to give a hug or a kiss. Let them know you're glad they're here.
L'chado di likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chado di likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad. Hishmianu el hameyuchad. Adonai echad ushmo echad. L'shemo tiferet v'litila. L'chado di likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chado di likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha. Ki mekor haberacha. Merosh bikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila. L'chado di likrat kala נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלום לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי כלה בואי כלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה
We segue seamlessly as we remain standing for the Baruch Hu on page 146, our call to worship, 146.
Yada-dai-dai-dai, 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 yada-dai-dai-dai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yada-dai-dai-dai, 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 yada-dai-dai-dai.
On 149 in the middle, our Ma'ariv, our Avim, we pray together. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is an hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. On 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlechtecha v'derech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema'an tizkeru basitem ekol mitzvotai bitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem be'eretz Mitzrayim Liot lachem le'elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem.
Emet. Miracles do happen. The release of 25 hostages, 13 Israeli women and children, has to inspire hope. And even with so many more still captive, we understand the pathway to freedom is surrounded on all sides by tumultuous waves, overwhelming waters that can engulf us in a moment. So keep in mind founding Prime Minister of the Jewish state David Ben-Gurion's advice in 1947. In Israel, in order to be a realist, you must believe in miracles. So with the Holy One's help and our struggling steps, may all Israel make it safely to the other side. On page 158.
Yai dai dai da dai da 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 dai. Yai dai dai da dai da 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 dai. Yai dai da dai dai yai dai yai da dai. Yai da dai dai yai da 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 dai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha ne'etar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osei feleh, nora tehilot osei feleh. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Yai lalai, yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai, yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai, yai lai la lai lai, yai lai ya la lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai.
alternate Hashkivenu, not in your prayer books, to lead us to our tefillah. Rabbi Rami Shapiro writes, when fears multiply and danger threatens, when sickness comes, when death confronts us, it is God's blessing of shalom that sustains us and upholds us, lightening our burden, dispelling our worry, restoring our strength, renewing our hope, somehow reviving us. So may it be. We rise for the tefillah on 164.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Le'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol atah Rav Lehoshia, Mahashiv HaRuach Umorid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekaye Memunato, Lishenei Afar, Bichamocha Bal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol, Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kdoshim b'chol yom yhalelu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el hakadosh.
We pause to hear that voice, that prayer that comes from inside, either the prayers on the page through page 180 or the prayers of your own heart. Take a few minutes.
Repeat after me. Whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
right here,
right here,
right now.
right
Whoa,
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 right here,
right
right now.
now.
Modim anachnu lach, Modim anachnu lach, Modim anachnu lach, Modim anachnu.
We are grateful to you. That's what this prayer means. We are grateful to you. W. Clement Stone, a self-help author and philanthropist. I think he was a philanthropist second and a self-help author first. said, if you are really grateful, what do? You share. So we're going to take a moment, to share something you are truly grateful for at this time of Thanksgiving. You get up to 2 sentences. Anything that you think is worthy of sharing, some gift of gratitude you've been given, something that lives inside that you want to acknowledge and affirm, we'd love to hear it.
Modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu.
Mazo! Woo.
Yeah.
Brother of the bar mitzvah, yes. You're awesome. You're awesome. That's awesome. Beautiful. Beautiful gift.
Modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach.
Room for a few more, Jane. Awesome. Who is the star of Thanksgiving, you told me? There you go. There you go. One of the Harrisons. Awesome. Awesome. Please, Adler. You are such a sweetheart. Did you hear that? He is thankful he's going to be reading from the Torah next to Alex tomorrow. How cool is that? Alex, would you like to top that?
Modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach.
So, of course, we couldn't get all the thanks out, but that's okay. It's good to have some inside. And after the service, not during, please, you should share with somebody. You may not even know them, but share a gift of gratitude with someone else. That makes us truly a congregation of thanks.
Modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach. Repeat after me. Whoa,
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 right here,
right here,
right now.
right now.
Whoa,
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 right here,
right here.
right now.
We rise as one congregation, praying for those who face the future not fully whole. If you want to connect to the people around you, hands, arms, elbows, whatever's comfortable. Mi sheberach avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah v'cherecha v'leah. May the one who blessed our mothers before us and fathers before us bring strength to those who struggle against sickness, those who so long to be healed.
Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha. 371. Leimotenu, may the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
We especially call to mind at this moment a prayer for healing Jerry Gallner, my uncle, Nancy Hanley, Pat Ryan, Marlo Wiggins, Stanley Tereski, Paul Wiggins, Dick Stone, Hannah Stampleman, Enid Elton, Andy Rosenthal, Dan Zimmerman, Joseph Spinelli, Jody Kahn, Sam Phillip, Ariel Eden, Ian Spear, Joanne Tobin, Abby Zatoon, Brad Dembski, Barry Fenner, Gabriel Morse, Jeffrey Amder, Kristen Harris, Irv Cohen, June Foreman, Millie Marmer, Susan Frankel, Jack Blumenfrucht, Cabrine Calamari, Kara Rutman, Frank Fazzolari, Marion Froelich, Barbara Schiff, Karen Green, Jackie Pearsall, and Jill Rhodes. Would anyone here add a name in hopes of healing?
Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Amen. The highlight moment in this week's Torah comes at a very low point in Jacob's life. Far from home, in the middle of what seems a wasteland, fearful about his future, distressed and questioning his past, he dreams of a ladder, a stairway to heaven that could take him to unknown heights. Waking up so stunned that the vision still seems real, he proclaims, "Wow, God is actually in this place and I don't even know it." I met with a handful of our LT college kids this past Monday morning to do a check-in, to see how campus life was with all the craziness post-October 7th, and to hear from them about how they were handling it, practically as well as sort of psycho-spiritually. What became very clear was that their Jewish identities were front and center as perhaps never before. Yeah, it's not like I'm talking about it openly, but now being Jewish just seems like it's always there. One of my non-Jewish friends made a comment which she didn't even realize was anti-Semitic, and I just gave her a look as if to say, really? Campus life has always been a hotbed of political, progressive thought, but these days it's discernibly different. Rather than an open expression of divergent viewpoints, a dialogue of difference, respectful. By many, we are condemned for being who we are. At a time when any association with Israel equates with supporting an apartheid regime, a Nazi state, as the Jewish state is popularly portrayed, the settler colonialist oppressors of an indigenous Palestinian people. It's important to remember at moments like those our over 3,000-year link with this very land. We are, in fact, indigenous, a people who prayed in, governed Jerusalem, a people whose holy center has ever remained the same, a people exiled who never abandoned that age-old dream of coming back home. For us as progressive Jews, it has definitely been a dream deferred. You remember back on October 6th, we were Zionists in spite of Israel, fighting against Likud's lopsided legislative proposals, the policies of the Netanyahu government that would diminish its checks and balances, standing up as Reformed Jews for a democratic Jewish state. Since October 7th, we are Zionists because of Israel, recognizing its right to exist securely without threat of terror, to defend itself against those who seek to destroy it. And much as we're bereft at the brutal massacre of over 1,300 Israelis, likewise pained at the loss of Palestinian lives in Gaza, compassion, we know, is not particular to any single people. If only the college campus could share in that compassion, could hold the center, rather than resort to accusatory extremes. One of our LT collegians asked if from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free was, as one of his Jewish roommates told him, just a chant to liberate Palestinians to have a state of their own. Not really, I explained. When Hafez al-Assad, Syrian dictator in the 1960s, said, quote, "We shall only accept war and the restoration of the usurped land to oust the aggressors and throw them into the sea for good," he was paving the way for Hamas's 2017 charter, which states, "Hamas rejects any alternative to the full and complete liberation of Palestine from the river to the sea." In other words, a Palestinian state built on the rubble of what once was Israel. The anti-Zionism now present, if not rampant, on many college campuses is a counterpart, if not a partner, with anti-Semitism. When Yaleys for Palestine declared at a college-sponsored event November 7th, the Israeli Zionist regime is solely responsible for the unfolding violence, calling on the Yale community to celebrate the success of the resistance movement, I suppose it meant the murder of 260, mostly teens, at a musical festival, or terrorists celebrating the savage beheading of children. Call it what you will, it is hate in its most dehumanizing form. Rather than a waking dream, most of our Jewish college kids are living through what's almost a nightmare, trying to navigate their way through a barren, at times brutal wilderness. So as they prepare to head back, and I'm just pointing at one because she is the representative of all of our college kids. Thank you, Marion Carr, for coming. I appreciate you. Before you head back to finish out the semester, here are 3 things for them, and I think for all of us, to keep in mind. 1, justice is the rightful pursuit of an Israel that was brutally attacked, not as a moral payback to its mistreatment of Palestinians, untenable as occupation remains, but as a jihad to wipe the Jewish state off the map. Can Israel decimate Hamas in Gaza? I hope so. Is it possible to eliminate the idea from which such terror springs? The Sunni Islamist militant group will continue its commitment to create an Arab-Palestinian state in place of the state of Israel. You can be sure. But as senior fellow at the Hartman Institute, award-winning journalist Yossi Klein Halevi put it, Hamas has reminded us why the Jewish people opted for power in the first place. In a world in which pure evil exists, powerlessness is for Jews the greater sin. As the ferocity of Israel's response unfolds, along with the terrible suffering of innocent Palestinians caught in the crossfire, we will lose much of the sympathy our dead have earned us. But Hamas has given us little choice. 2, mercy is the rightful Jewish response to the suffering we see all around us. For families of Israelis savagely slaughtered, families of hostages heartbroken, trying not to lose hope, for the thousands of Gazan Palestinians killed, homes destroyed, their world turned upside down, a pawn in Hamas's grand plan. We feel for every life lost as we pray that 2 peoples who grew up together in the very same house can someday see in one another's reflection a human face, a brother looking back. How utterly sad it is that the October 7th flood of terror massacred many of the foremost peacemaking bridge builders at communities and kibbutzim in the southern Gaza envelope, courageous Israelis committed to the dignity of every Palestinian life. 3, Israel's existence is a cornerstone of our covenant. Sanctioned, of course, by the UN's partition plan in 1947, declared by Ben-Gurion on May 14, 1948, the great promise for the Jewish people was a perilous problem for the Arabs of Palestine, nearly 750,000 displaced from their homes. Yes, competing narratives coexist. and both can be more or less correct. So as Israel became a post-Holocaust haven, the one place in the world Jews could say was unequivocally home, at some point in the future, Israel has to figure out how to live alongside its Arab neighbors, a secure state supported by major Arab nations' contributions, governed by leaders who acknowledge the state of Israel, even as Israel affirms this sovereign, stable entity called Palestine. Mutual denial only furthers indignity indefinitely. Yitzhak Rabin, former defense minister, then prime minister, as he was called, Israel's great soldier for peace, understood. These were his last words to the Israeli public at the square now named for him. I was a military man for 27 years. I fought as long as there were no prospects for peace. Today, I believe there are great prospects. We must take advantage of this for the sake of those standing here and for the sake of those not standing here. After joining the crowd and singing Shir L'Shalom, the Song of Peace by Naomi Shemer, Rabin was murdered trying to climb that ladder. A midrash on tonight's Torah asks, what has the Holy One been doing since the start of creation? And the answer, God has been making ladders for people to climb. So what's the problem? Jacob inquires, and the Holy One responds, people see them, but do not believe they are real. Even in the midst of a world that feels like a wilderness, especially in a place where human darkness often eclipses the light, hope must never be lost. Proud to be who we are, yet humble enough to know we cannot be all we must on our own. If we can see beyond the human suffering to a wholly new possibility, we'll realize the ladder is still set out there for us to climb. So may we yet see the dream one day, God willing, made real. Amen.
My strength and my song is the Holy One, for me, my deliverance. O Ziv Zimratia, Vayahili Lishua. O Ziv Zimratia, Vayahili Lishua. O Ziv Zimratia. Vayahili Lishua, O Ziv Zimratia, Vayahili Lishua, O Ziv Zimratia, Vayahili Lishua, O Ziv Zimratia, Vayahili Yai dai dai dai, yai da da dai, yai dai dai, yai da da dai, ai dai dai, ai da dai.
We rise for Aleinu, page 586. Our B'nai Mitzvah, Benot Mitzvah on deck. If you're here, come open the ark for us. Come on. Come on, ladies. Come on. Come on. This is perfect practice. Perfect practice. Get that door over there. It's heavy. You go first. Yeah, go from behind there. Go behind you.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latekedu laliotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kecho hamonam, v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar b'chaya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
Making ready for Kaddish on page 598. As if we need to be reminded, we understand the great loss at every human life, no matter its origin, a life with a family connected. And so for all those in Gaza, for all those in our state of Israel, we are bereft and diminished. At the same time, people leave us, and everybody looked around that Thanksgiving table, and there was a seat missing for some of us. It's a seat that can never be filled, and somehow that presence remains. The love, the laughter, the wisdom, the bets on football games, all of those things. And so we remember those people so dear who still live in our hearts, whose love is larger than life itself. We especially call to mind those whose yortzites are observed in our congregational family of Sandra Mash, Boris Rudman, Stephen Chapin, David Gerstein, Dorothea Campbell, Don Lewis, Stephen Neil Ifshin, Gustav Cooperman, Sadie Schumann, Albert Weiner, Joel Schulman, Selma Green, Fran Vernick, Marilyn Kaplan Brandt, Ralph Garfield, Helen Blum, Hetty Manny, Luciano Friedenbach, Rebecca Abrams, Sarah Mandel, Faye Robinson, Ira Birnbaum, Sidney Haber, Martin Mauskop, Ruth Pollock, Ruth Cohen, Gussie Deutsch, Raul Elton, David Siegelman, Natalie Wald, Peter W. Kaplan, Tzvi Alexander, Lena Axelrod, Yetta Blum Tudelman, Rudolph M. Ashner, Fanny Weiss, David Fox, Horace B. Bernstein, Fanny Karotkin-Mindlin, Ann Gottlieb, Gail Robinson, Catherine Krensky, Rose Nackman. Anyone here add a name in sacred remembrance? To those names, we link the names of four who recently in the past 30 days, Shloshim, have been laid to their eternal rest. Marcia Ruth Silvers, mother of Jonathan and Allison. Aaron Weiss, husband of Marilyn, father of Amy Land, along with Wendy Simon Weiss, grandfather of 5. Claire Harmon, cousin of Leora Frankel, and Christopher Provenzano, husband of Chelsea, father of Andrew and Ella, detective sergeant for the state of New Jersey, troopers, dedicated community servant who worked with us here for a short while. We link to those names the memories of 4 friends of Drs. Kalvar's nephew, Elan, serving in the IDF, who passed. We join together in words of Kaddish. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah be'alma divrach erutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lomei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudsha b'richu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tush berchata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for blessing. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. My name is Philip Honstein. I like to say I'm one of the junior members of the Board of Trustees. It's a privilege to serve on it. And I'm fortunate because I have some notes here that were provided to me by Jeff Wang, because we both thought that he was going to do these announcements tonight, but I get to have the honor. So mazel tov to Alex and Adler and to your families. It's going to be a fantastic service in the morning. Steve Gutman told me that he used to always come to the services in the morning, the B'nai Mitzvah services. And so you're invited, anyone, all of us, all members are invited to attend, as well as of course, the families. Your drashes are thoughtful and insightful. I know that because Jeff Wang has read them and says so. I haven't had a chance to read them yet, so I challenge all of you to do what I'm going to do. Read them before tomorrow morning. If you don't read them before, then you can come and they'll read them in person. You'll get to hear them. What's going on, you can find it on the website, of course, and in the weekly email. But we thought we would highlight the Israel for Real conversation with David Leshnick, an LT tour guide on various trips to Israel, LT trips to Israel since 1988. Supposedly, bagels and coffee, hopefully that happens. But the important thing, the topic is why fight this war? How does life in Israel feel today? And what are Israel's greatest challenges today? Cover Torah is tomorrow at 9 o'clock. That's our fantastic teaching session with Rabbi Serkman. And I've been asked to announce that if we happen to have enough people show up to form a minyan in the library just after Cover Torah, we'll form a minyan and have a lay-led worship service. I think that's everything. Oh, I wanted to say thank you, Cantor, for bringing the spirit of the moment. Thank you, David Judd. Your music is always amazing. And thank you, Rabbi, for reminding us why this Torah portion is a perfect one for this moment.
It is perfect. It is perfect. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, Philip. So, I forgot that tonight, we had started last year this great last year's, this year's learning theme or covenant theme is, and you shall be a blessing, using my bar mitzvah Torah portion, Lech Lecha. And it's really about how we can be a blessing as a congregation, why being part of this congregation is a blessing. But last year we started this Yortzeit project called Memory and Meaning, and we had somebody share a Kaddish remembrance, and I think I was supposed to call it Andy Harrison. So I would love to hear it now. This is about your mom, correct? Right? And this week is her. I just want to see. So mom's name was. Did I read the name?
Better late than never. Shabbat Shalom. My thanks to the clergy and the ritual committee and our rabbinic intern, Ashira Boxman, for allowing me to share memories of my mother, Jean Sinsheimer Harrison, on this, the week after her 18th yahrzeit. Mom was a well-educated woman of letters, a 1940 graduate of Adelphi College who 20 years later, while working part-time as a substitute teacher and raising 2 boys, went back to school to attain a master's degree in English literature from Queens College, hoping to pursue a professional ambition of teaching full-time. Perhaps above all, Jean was a woman who sacrificed for the sake of her nuclear and extended family. In what I have to consider her finest hour in the early 1960s, when her brother's first wife, our Aunt Natalie, tragically died of breast cancer, leaving 3 very young children, 2, 4, and 6. My mom, without a moment's hesitation, stepped into the breach and came to the aid of her grief-stricken brother, my Uncle Buddy. Sacrificing her own budding teaching career in the New York City public schools and the professional fulfillment and enhanced family security that would have meant, Jean became in many ways a mother substitute for our Sinsheimer cousins, taking them to their youth sporting activities, scout meetings, paper routes, back-to-school shopping. She mentored or rode herd on over a series of live-in housekeepers and governesses of highly variable quality, and perhaps most importantly, welcomed Uncle Buddy and our cousins, my cousins, Robert, Alan, and Jan, into our home for every Sunday family dinner and every holiday. They were a constant presence in my home growing up. Mom passed down to her sons her love of Greek mythology, Gilbert and Sullivan, classical music, and Broadway musicals. She played piano beautifully, filling our house with music, and was a vivacious hostess, an affectionate, loving mother who could talk your ear off, sometimes being overly critical to those closest to her. She could also whip up a poem for any occasion, be it my wedding to Adrian, a reunion of my father's Dartmouth College class, or a reunion of the Flying Tigers airmen of World War II. She was possessed of many wonderful qualities, but culinary arts was not among them. To this day, I cannot stand most green vegetables because Mom cooked them to within an inch of their lives, and I have it on good authority that she used to put ketchup and cottage cheese over pasta, though I seem to have repressed that particular memory. A child of the Depression, Mom was never one to lavish you with the latest toys and frills you didn't need. She was more likely to give you a copy of Roget's Thesaurus or Bartlett's Familiar Quotations to improve your vocabulary and writing skills, and perhaps a copy of Edith Hamilton's Mythology for cultural enrichment. On the other hand, I have vivid memories of Mom supporting my teenage rock band endeavors. Together with the mother of our drummer, she'd be waiting patiently in the car late on Saturday nights outside an endless series of catering halls, synagogue ballrooms, and church social halls across Long Island as we finished our band gigs so she could schlep us and our equipment home from yet another bar mitzvah or sweet 16. Mom was a true roadie. Mom's many poems, part of her legacy of love, reflect her Judaism, love of nature, deep sense of patriotism, and her abiding belief in the American dream of brotherhood among races and religions. I close with one which seems particularly appropriate for the troubled times we are all living through now, entitled Prayer for All People. Lord of all creation, who orders worlds and suns, look down on all your children, your hopeful, seeking ones. With divine compassion, help us see each other with understanding hearts to see you as our brother, to see you in our brother. And in your children who may call you by yet another name, or know in their heart still voice or silent, pray the same. And as we love all others, let them love us as well. Let us loving live together in peaceful places dwell. The past to be remembered, yet healed and set aside. Let your children, understanding, peace and love abide. Lord of all salvation, of sun and moon and rain, God of new beginnings, help us to begin again. Thank you and Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Andy. This is beautiful. We're going to collect, and Ashira Boxman, our rabbinic intern, is collecting different remembrances and is going to put them in a memory book at the end of the year. Probably we'll distribute it to Holy Days. We rise for the closing song. which is appropriately
That's it.
Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom bimromav, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.